Microblading is a semi-permanent makeup style where we insert pigments of ink into your skin and give you a more natural look, yes, but we do away with doing eyebrow pencils. So it's a permanent look, although it does not last permanently. That's why I said it's a semi-permanent. Yes. So it cuts your time in half. You know how we ladies take so much time in our eyebrows.
Take the huge
the
chunk
longest,
of time.
yes. So if your eyebrows are done, you'll just do the rest of your face.
Welcome back to yet another episode of The Millionaire Mind. My name is Turife. Now, previously we had shown you the theoretical part of microblading or microshading, and this time we get to see the practical part and the turn of events. We have our model here who's looking very serious. So we'll get right into it. What is the first step? Okay,
the first step is analyzing the client's face and shape. As you can see, her face ni mwaida hapa juu inakuja imekonda. So this is a pear shaped. Yes. Then after that, you look at the size of the brows. What size are they? Zake zinakaa ni medium to small. So after analyzing that, the first thing you do, even before touching her, you disinfect the client.
Okay.
For that, ndio kusikwe na any kama kulikuwa na germs in that area, you get rid of them. Kumbuka amesweat, there is sebum, yes, and the likes. So what we do first, we disinfect both brows. So after disinfect, sasa unaendelea kuangalia. Sasa you take your mapping thread.
Is that ordinary thread or does it have pigment on it?
No, it has a bit of ink. Na see ink ya nini. Ndio when I'm making the marks on her face, the lines remain.
Okay.
Yes.
I will leave you to it.
Thank you. So the first place we map is the center of the face.
Yeah.
So that we can get where the brows are going to begin and the arcing points.
Okay.
So.
It has to be very accurate.
Yes. Naona imekuja katikati. And then you check, you see which brow is above the other. Naangalia ndio usifanye zirincline ama moja ikuwe juu kushinda ingine. So after checking, nimeona hii iko juu than this. So I'm going to work with this.
Okay.
Yes.
So you wouldn't need numbing cream for this process.
No,
you're trusting that the client's face is staying relaxed all through.
Because you're not going to put so much pressure while you're mapping. Yes.
Okay.
It's a guideline for where the brows should. You'll see after I am done mapping, you'll see the way the shape will come to life.
Okay.
Yes. The next thing, we also have a ruler. There are measurements from the middle part to the startup of the brow.
Okay.
Ndio usipate kwa hii ulikuja ukaanza hapa na kwa hii ulikuja.
So
there's a certain number we measure. Most people, this distance is always almost the same. So we measure 1.5.
Okay.
Yes. And whatever you do on this side,
you have to do on this
other side. But you have to map your ruler too. So that when you put the ruler on the face, it leaves
a mark
on the measurement you want, ndio uweze kutumia the string.
Okay.
Yes.
It feels like we're doing math at this point.
Yes. You have to be very precise. And you see, it's 1.5. It's gonna show you where the brow should start on both sides. Then you come with your strings. And And then from time to time, keep on checking on your clients.
Checking up.
Yes, you have to keep on checking on your client. Know that if she's okay, for you to proceed. So remember, these are ombre powder brows. They're going to have that fade off effect.
Yeah.
That's what I'm measuring right now. Yes. It's supposed to be 1. So you come again to the center. This center line will be your guide for everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the healing process, how long will that take?
It depends with your body. The way you eat, if you don't eat healthy, you won't heal fast.
Oh.
So it's all up to Nini, but approximately it's 2 weeks.
Okay.
As I said in the start, 2 weeks before you even make them touch water. Ama kuosha also. So after you've gotten your middle part figured out, now you start measuring the arcs I told you.
Okay.
Yes. This I have to be in front of her.
It's okay.
So that I can. That's what the wipes are for.
Oh, okay.
As you can see, they have gone a bit too high. Have to. But you won't wipe off everything, just the last line, yes.
Okay.
You can do this like 50 times until you get the perfect arc.
Okay.
Then from there, you have to measure the width, the broadness of the brow.
How broad the brow is going to be.
Yes. Mostly you can find they are medium, large and small. For her, this is a medium. They are not very bushy, but they are not very scarce. So in that we give a range of 0.7 to 0.8.
Okay.
But for her, I'm going to use a 0.7. Hers are kind of a bit thin. Yes, so I'm going to give her the lowest measurement. You mark on those. Once you mark, you come back with your string. And then you make sure your thread is passing exactly where you marked. It should not go high or
lower.
below. Yes.
Okay.
So from there, you measure the arc now. This was a guideline to show you where the arcs are gonna fall, but there's a distance from here to the arc.
Okay.
And they have to be balanced.
Okay.
You can't give her 2 here, 3 here. And the average size you usually use 3.
Okay.
3. But by 3 I mean that size.
Okay.
Yes. So you will find both will balance from both angles. You mark over there. And remember, whatever you do to one brow,
You have to do to the other.
yes. You come again with your thread. This is everything actually. The thread is literally everything. You mark your arcs. Then you measure your axe. If you had measured 0.7 at the beginning, the blow does not, it goes as it slims to the arc. So if you had measured 0.7 at the beginning, it means here you're gonna reduce the arc size to probably 0.5 or 0.6. Yes. So that's what you're going to measure. And what we are using to insert these marks is called an ombre pencil. You can see it's different.
Oh,
There's actually, you can
it's
use
actually
this.
quite thick.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, very thick. So that's because after you're doing this, you remember you have to numb. You're gonna use creams.
Yes.
So if you use a normal pencil and you come and rub off, it will rub off the marks you want to be your guidelines. That's why we use an ombre pencil. So now you start draining those arcs. If you see your thread is out of color, put it aside, get another one. Because those arcs and the knees need to be very precise. Hakuna kukuja ku freestyle. There's no freestyling in this.
It's quite the process. You have to be really precise.
Yes.
So now we talked about the preparation that the client does before, you know, coming in for a session. What about you as the tech? What preparation do you do? We told
Setup.
we told the client not to drink stimulants, not to take alcohol,
Yes.
to hydrate. What about you on your end?
I'm supposed to be full.
Yeah.
Because once you start, apart from after the numbing process, you don't stop. So even if you're going to be very slow, even if it takes some clients like even 3 hours, no, some microblading artists even like 3 hours, depending on how fast
your hand is.
But you don't have to be fast in this service.
Yeah.
Because remember, we're giving her a permanent look.
Okay.
So you have to take your time. Imagine if you're here and you're starving.
Yeah,
Even
it's a
the
lot.
stomach will start growling all over the client. She's going to wonder, come over.
It's going to be an uncomfortable experience.
Yes, it's going to be a very uncomfortable experience. So right now I'm measuring the arc. From the arc to the tail. It has to be 2.5, but you find others, their arcs end over here. Why? They didn't measure.
Okay.
Yes. So now I'm going to give her a 2.5 tail. You see, and it's exactly where her eyebrows end. Yes. So from here, I keep my string down, take my ombre pencil. It has to be very sharp with this angle, like it's like a screwdriver. Kind
flat.
of, yes, flat. So you take it and you sharpen, so that when I come and outline what I've done, there.
It's very accurate.
Yes, it's very accurate. So I come over even the lines that I've made now and darken them. So that when I apply my numbing cream, I don't rub it off as I start the procedure.
Okay.
Yes. And there you have an eyebrow ready. One eyebrow is coming.
This is what an ideal eyebrow would look like.
Should look like, yes. Then you come to the other side and do the same. But now here comes the challenge. You need to balance. Because now that I've measured, I have this axe over here. The axe that I've made lastly, you find that sometimes we miss. Instead of going with the flow, you give a client very high axe and she has a straight. She has hazifai kuwa zimeenda juu sana na hazifai kwenda chini sana. You should, ni wewe as the service provider, it's for you to see. Yes, that's
So
why
you determine it as you go.
Yes, that's why that's why I said you analyze the client's face first. So you come back to the other side. They don't balance very easily. The axe especially. Next thing you do after you've drawn, you come and remove any overflow of the pencil. Come in netokea nje. Come with your wet wipes. We mainly use wet wipes throughout this service. So you remove any overlapping because the edge needs to be perfect.
And the others who use concealer?
Yes, some most use concealer, but I find it using concealer it becomes a bit messy. Yes. Okay. Alafu, remember concealer, it has chemicals. And right now we are coming to
dig into the skin.
Yes, and scratch off the top layer. So imagine if this concealer probably was expired or it had chemicals that could affect the client.
It becomes an issue.
Yes, it becomes an issue. And the shape. You okay? The axe are okay? Okay. So after the client is comfortable, the client has to approve the size and the shape. Once she says yes, you have now to remove. So now she has overgrown. You take your spoolie. You show her it's new. Then you come and start. Ni kama kuzitoa kwa hiyo line. You see I'm not
cutting off the excess, yeah.
Now I'm going to cut off the excess so that the brow shape will retain. Hata tukifuta the whatever, the mapping by mistake, you can still see the shape of the brow. Everything has to be new. Remember, we have to try and reduce as much as possible any sort of infection during work. So you come slowly. Remove the excess, not all of it. Some people remove everything. Don't touch the part that you're supposed to shade. Just remove the excess. Some people prefer to tweeze, but because this service is a bit uncomfortable, there's no use in putting the client through that much pain. Yes. don't throw this away, because during the service you're gonna find that some hairs are gonna pop, and then there are those long ones that you're shading, they start
drooping.
Yes. So you keep it somewhere safe. So now we come to the numbing part. So this is what we use for numbing, and it most of them are written the percentage. This is the cream we start with.
60%.
Yes.
And then?
So it reduces this is for starting. When you're starting for her, before you start the service, this is what we apply. And then we have a during. During the service, because definitely this one will wear out with time. Remember, it's not going to be inserted into the skin via needle. It's just application. So during, when the client starts feeling uncomfortable, that's when you go in
with this one.
Yes, this is the gel and this is a cream. But before we do that, remember, I don't want my lines to disappear. So we use a powder as a base for the whole numbing cream process. Don't even put a lot because it's only the brows. We use the dabbing motion, because if I swipe,
you're going to be rubbing it off.
And these lines are very important, so you don't want to mess and rub them off. So after that, now you take your cream. We have things we used to apply. Don't use your hands, because you don't want to clog the part that the cream is coming out from. It's like a small ear pad. Yes, it's like a small ear pad. So you collect your cream. And we concentrate mostly over here. Over the times I've seen clients complain mostly.
The pain is
intense here. Yes. So that's why you see me putting a lot. You have to be generous. And then still again with the dabbing motion.
So how long does the numbing cream take to be effective?
Approximately 30 minutes.
Okay.
But you find some clients, if you assess the face and you see you ask her if she has a very sensitive face, you can last it up to 45 minutes before you start the procedure. But 30 minutes minimal.
Okay.
Yes. So after this, I know you can see that I have a clean film. This, if it's exposed to air, it's going to dry off. And if it has dried off, it won't be effective. So we use a clean film, or some people prefer using paper, but they were burned. So we use a clean film to cover the numbing cream on the face, that it can be absorbed by the pores. When I come to do the service, I'll just wipe it off and continue with my service. So. don't use a lot because it's just for the eyebrows. So you come, tell your clients to close their eyes, place it, tuck it behind the ear for support. Remove it out of her eyes so she can be able to open her eyes. And then you wipe off any excess powder.
Yeah.
And now we wait for approximately 30 minutes. And then we shall continue.
So now we are back after taking a small break while doing the numbing cream. It's been about 30 to 40 minutes. Yes. So now what's the next step?
So the next step, you take the cling film to half of the face.
Half of the face.
Half of the face. Then you take your application mini, and then you wipe off just once.
Oh, okay.
You see the eyebrow? Whatever markings we made,
they're still there.
Then you because I'm going to use the same one on the other eyebrow.
Okay, okay.
And then you have to make sure your client sees that your needle is new. So clients aki-accept na aseme ame-assess iko sawa. You open it, then you take your tool. And then you attach it.
Okay.
After you attach it, you see how kiasha machine where the needle, the distance is supposed to. We usually use 0.7 mostly so that it cannot dig so deep into the skin. Once you have assessed your machine, switch it off. Take your inks. And in such a procedure, because she's not light and she's not dark. So first of all, I'm going to start with my darkest pigment. And this is black. Yes. So after I do this, itafika mahali you will see I'll keep on alternating. And then I get to a point I start mixing. I have two pigments right now. This is coffee brown and black.
Okay.
So that we can get that very natural look. It won't look like it's a tattoo. And it won't look like it's natural, but itaka in between. Okay. Yeah, it will give the brows a more pronounced look.
Okay.
Yes. So now we are going to start with the outline.
Okay.
Yes. You have to shake your ink. And then you have ink caps where I'm going to be placing my ink. Put like 2 to 3 drops. You have to make sure you mix it again. As much as you've shaken it, make it a habit to always make sure your ink is mixed well. So you mix. The reason I don't put too much, you might tilt your hand by mistake.
Oh, and
you don't want to pour it on the client.
Okay.
Yes. So after you're satisfied with your mixing, put that aside and then take your
needles.
Yes, now you take your needle. And during this procedure, you will see that I am going to be stretching the skin. Yes. And don't stretch upwards, side to side.
Okay.
You have to make sure your needle sips the ink to a certain level. If you have excess, just dab it off. Till at your client, you're comfortable. You start with the arc.
Okay. So our client, how does it feel? Is it comfortable? Is it?
and the arc is the most important place. So that's why I'm starting with the arc, the tail to the arc, because this is where determines where kama client atakaa ameshtuka.
You had mentioned the name of the strokes. What is the pendulum movement?
The pendulum movement ni hiyo nasikia machine ikienda like double. I am shading. I'm not going only on one side towards me or again away from me. This is where we'll use away. When I get here, I want the eyebrow to fade off.
Okay.
Yes. So right now I'm using a pendulum movement. Sorry. So I shade. What I do, everyone has their own different tactics. I like shading like this. Then I come and outline the rest. Knowing hata nikifuta, already I've gotten the arc.
The outline,
yes,
okay.
the arc. The arc and the outline. That's why I'm shading inside at this point from the arc to the tail. Yes. But from here sasa nitaingia kwa the outline.
So we are going to leave them to it. We're going to leave them to do the best. At this point, there's no contribution I'm doing here. So we'll be back with the final product.
So no, hakuna come into contact with any fluids, hata sweat, sweat kwa eyebrows.
How do I prevent the sweat?
You can always use cotton wool, na if you feel itchy after a while, zita darken, then zitaanza kuscab. Hii nini ya juu itatoka, then tunanika zimelighten. Another in like a month or so, utaona tena color imerudi. Yes, so they'll be playing tricks on you. But for the first 2 weeks, this is the aftercare I want you to be applying. Yes, every day at night. And when you feel itchy, just dab, don't scratch, don't remove that skin. Itajitoa yenyewe with time. How was the service? Perfect. Thank you so much. This is the final outlook for the ombre powder brows, and they gave her a natural look. So if you want to know more about this service, or if you want to make a booking, you can find me on Instagram at marita_chege. On Facebook, you can find me at Marita Shiko Chege. And then I'm also located at Juja, Harmony House, shop number G8. And for more information too, or to make your bookings, call me at 0707 55 40 43. Once again, 0707 55 40 43. Thank you for watching.